everyone. I have a story to share with you about Curious George. In this story, Curious George visits the zoo. And that's the title of this book, Curious George Visits the Zoo. So let's read about Curious George and his trip to the zoo. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One day, George's friend, the man with the yellow hat, said, "How would you like to see a real elephant, George? Let's go to the zoo." There was a lot to see at the zoo. There were the giraffes with necks so long they seemed to reach the sky, and the kangaroos carrying their babies in special pouches on their fronts. And finally, there were the elephants with their floppy ears and their long trunks munching on some hay. It was lunchtime, and George was starting to feel hungry. He saw people enjoying their lunches on park benches and others picnicking on the grass. "I'm going to find out what time they feed the lions," said the man with the yellow hat. "Please wait here and try not to get into any trouble, George." While George was waiting, he saw a zookeeper with a pail of bananas for the monkey. Curious George is a monkey. I bet he likes bananas. The zookeeper put the pail down to get a drink of water from the fountain. George was hungry, so he grabbed the pail and ran away with it. "Hey!" shouted the zookeeper. "Stop that monkey!" But George kept on running. That wasn't very kind of him, was it? There was a crowd of people standing near the monkey house. This would be just the place for George to hide. There he is. He's running away with the bananas. Standing by the cage was a little boy holding a red balloon with a long string. All of a sudden, one of the monkeys reached out and snatched the string from the boy's hand. Oh, my goodness. The monkey took off with the balloon and climbed to the tippy-top of the cage. But when he tried to squeeze the balloon through the bars, it was too big, and the other monkeys started to shriek and scream. The little boy started to cry. "Oh, please, can someone get his balloon back?" asked his mother. But none of the people could reach that high. George knew what to do. With the pail in his hand, he climbed up to the top of the cage. You see him climbing? With his monkey hands and monkey feet. He took a few bananas and fed them to the monkeys. While the monkeys were eating, George snatched the balloon and swung down from the cage. He handed the balloon back to the boy. Just then, the man with the yellow hat came running. "George!" the man cried. "I have been looking all over for you." "Oh, please don't be angry with him," said the mother. "He saved my son's balloon." Wasn't that nice of him? George had saved the day, but he was still very hungry. "Now it's time to feed ourselves, George," said the man. And that's exactly what they did. You see them eating some bananas for lunch? All right, boys and girls. So this was a story about George visiting the zoo. And I know we can't go visit the zoo right now because all the zoos are closed. But we can take a virtual field trip and go visit a zoo on the computer. There's a big zoo all the way out in California called the San Diego Zoo. And they have on their website lots of different ways that you can see the animals at their zoo. They have lots of live cameras so that you can watch the animals, what they're doing at their very second. So I'll post the link in the description of this video so that you can check out all the really cool animals and things to do on the San Diego Zoo website. All right, boys and girls, have fun.